Excellent. So you can now hear me properly. Okay, thank you everyone. I can see there are 15 of us already there, and we are having the discussion. Just let me switch to the screen. Okay, so there are two places you can add your comments. One is you can add questions, comments to the live streaming on YouTube. You just add it there. And the other one, you can go here into menti.com, and then you enter this code and you start adding your questions and comments or ideas. So this is where you can do this. So I want to start seeing some of that comment, like what are your expectations, and also if you have any questions or comment. This is the third session, so thank you for coming. I know it's late on the day. We had one early in the morning at 9, then we had at 2, and then this one, which is really great. I think I'm enjoying it. I hope it was useful for everyone. So far I'm hearing good feedback that it's helping, and I hope it will continue doing that. It's one of many things Abu Dhabi University is doing to ensure that we are ready for the implementation of distance learning. This is the outline. So we'll do a quick introduction. We will speak about some guidelines that we good to follow, and I think if you follow those guidelines, it somehow will help you in terms of teaching through blended learning and online learning and distance learning as well. Then we will talk about how to engage the student, we'll utilizing the class time, and we'll go deep in Microsoft Teams. So two parts of this session. The first one is we're going through this live streaming, which I will take you through the steps of how to create account, manage account, start a meeting and manage a meeting, share a screen and things like that, which can be useful. This I'm doing through streaming. You will ask a question, why you doing it through streaming, not just having a meeting through Microsoft Teams? This is a good question. The reason when I do it through streaming, you can see it from the teacher point of view. If I do it through Microsoft Teams, you will see it from the student point of view. And that will make it a little bit not clear. But now you will see it will be very clear, inshallah. Then we'll do hands-on. We'll spend some time doing it actually. We'll connect through Teams and we'll work together in a video call, and we'll do screen sharing. We'll look at all the details. Great. Now, Microsoft Teams, you can download it and install it on every application, on every device almost. Even Linux distribution, it has a version of Microsoft Teams. You need your Abu Dhabi University email and password. So with your email and password, you will be able to log in and do the process. Then in what sense I can use, or what are the applications that I can use Microsoft Teams in, or how can I do use Microsoft Teams? There are three things. One is, the easiest one is the first one, which files. Microsoft Teams can allow you to create files, share files, work with other members at the same time. You can do this, your student can do, add comments to the files and work in a collaborative way. This is already available in Office 365, so there's nothing new here, the only thing, it's part of the teams that will also allow us to do more things. The second thing for you as a faculty, you can use it to engage students, inspire students, keep them updated. Mention a student, if you write a comment or a text and you want a copy to go to a certain student, you can mention him, or a group of students, you can mention them, and then they will get an alert of that. And you can communicate with your student, with other faculty members. I'm just looking at the comments. Good evening, thank you. It's okay. This is great. Now the next one is the student, how your student can benefit from team. Again, they can access teaching material, they can participate in group. A student can host a meeting through Teams because they have access to that, and they can invite other students. They can work together on completing a report, or designing a solution, or doing a presentation. And then nowadays students are not really coming to the university. They cannot come to the university during those 4 weeks, so they have to work from home, and that will help them do that as well. And in our teaching practices, we should encourage them to do that for a number of reasons. One, for their learning. The second thing, this is the futures. Futures is moving into those type of communications that we can see. Now, before you start your online lecture with your student, there are a few things you need to get ready. Yeah, and the first one is to find a quiet place. Most of the time, I think you will do your video from the university, so you have an office and it's a nice, quiet, everything. But if you go home, do it from home at one time, or other places, make sure you are sitting in a quiet place. The second thing important is your internet connections. If you're using Wi-Fi, make sure that Wi-Fi is strong, it's reliable, and you stay closer to the Wi-Fi. If you can use wires through cable, will be even better. But if you cannot, Wi-Fi is good enough if you are having a strong signal. My advice at the moment, try to avoid connecting from a mobile package. I'm not saying from mobile. You can connect from mobile if you're going through Wi-Fi. But if you connect through mobile using your data from your service provider, you may not get a better experience. And I think you need to tell your student that connect through Wi-Fi. I think in the future maybe that will be solved, but at the moment there are some restrictions on using tools through mobile. When you start, before you start, you need to close all the applications. You don't want your student to see an email from you to your manager, or some confidential information, or some or just having so many applications that will make your computer very slow. So close those applications you don't need, and keep only those really needed for that lecture. Then make sure you are using the right background on your desktop, because you will share your desktop. So you don't want them to see a picture that it's not right, maybe a family confidential. You don't want them to see it, or it's really not appropriate for the student to see. So just make sure the background is being done properly. Test your audio and video, and I'll show you sorry, a few cases where you can have some challenges with audio and video in certain cases, how you can troubleshoot and make sure they are working. And you need to test it before you start in the meeting. And the last thing, prepare a list of rules that you want your student to follow. One general rule that I like to use is when students join the class, they mute their microphone. They say hello and then mute their microphone. This way you avoid noise and background issues. There are other rules maybe your course will require, like for example, if you want to just explain for some time and then you add question at the end, or you want to be more interactive, questions in between, or maybe you want to follow certain sequence, whatever those rules that you would like to have, you should get them ready and repeat them in every class to remind the student. You can just have a simple slide on the screen saying these are the rules that we need to follow, and that will help you. Now, starting the meeting, you are in the meeting and you're connecting to the student. The things sorry we need to do. First one, we need to inform the student of these rules. We wrote the rules for informing them, and a slide will do that with some explanation. You have to speak clearly with appropriate volume and speed. Don't rush things, don't be very slow in a way that your student will feel, oh, this is very time consuming and not interesting lecture. Just manage that, and from time to time ask your student, how is my speed? And I'm okay. I'm asking you this question now. What do you think of my speed? I'm going fast or I'm going slow? You can write it here on menti.com if you like, or you can write it on the comments or the chat of the YouTube. And looking at the YouTube while you do that. Good evening, thank you, okay, for very good. Good, thank you, Dr. Hamad. Good morning, good evening. Shall we use Mentimeters to interact with our student? Yes, you can, but you don't need to do that, because within Teams there is a chat, which we can talk about it later. I'm not using that chat at the moment because I'm doing live video streaming, which I cannot use the chat, which part of the Microsoft Teams, but the chat will do that. But if you think, sorry, if you think Menti.com is good, you can use it. One thing Menti.com is good in, if you want to show the result on the screen with some graphs, and it creates some interest on the student, but also you can use other tools like Kahoot and others. We'll talk about this later. Now, these are some of the comments. Okay, seeing that my speed is okay, I'm going fine. Hopefully I am clear, you can hear me clearly, then we will continue. So you need to stay closer to the microphone. If you're using a microphone, wireless microphone will be maybe much better, because you can move a little bit away from the screen and still student can hear you, like what I'm doing now. But if you are using the computer microphone, need to come closer to the computer microphone. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's continue. Then you need, if you share your desktop, this is my advice, and I'm sure it will save you time and confusion with the student. When you share, don't share a specific application on your screen. Share the whole desktop. Why? Because if you share a specific application, assume you share the presentation, and while you're presenting, you wanted to show them something else. So you want to switch to another application or another document. The student will not see that other document. They will always continue seeing your presentation, because you're sharing only the presentation. But if you share the desktop, if you open any application in your computer, they will see it. Now, this comes with a requirement that your background should be nice, the other applications are on the screen, you ensure your desktop is clean and things like that. But sharing the desktop will save you time, because in many cases I have seen people share a single application and switch to another one, and people saying, what are you talking about? We don't see the application. And you get that. Respond to student questions. Student might write something on the chat or maybe ask you questions. Make sure that you keep listening to them and looking at your chat from time to time to answer their questions. Then encourage students to add questions to the chat window. We'll see there's a window that we can use to chat, and encourage them to do that and check that from time to time and answer it. Now you can record your meeting if you like to do that. Recording it will help you in terms if you run this class again next time, students already have the recorded lecture, so they can watch it, and then you can create some discussions around it, so you don't repeat the lesson again, and it can help in the futures as well. But this is up to you the way you want to record it. When you record it, it stays in Teams. You can link it to Blackboard, and you can upload it to Stream, which one of the tools we have on Office 365. You can do many things with that video. You can edit it, remove it, add some component to it, whatever you want to do. From time to time, instead of being you are just talking all the time, you stop sharing screen, you speak to the student in video, you talk to them directly, you explain to them, you interact with them, you ask them some questions, so they get feel that it's not really a distance, someone sitting in somewhere else and just talking, you don't see and don't connect with the student. And that will help if you do it from time to time while you are teaching. At the end of your class, you need to summarize the class, and one way maybe more effective, instead of saying this is the summary of what we discussed, maybe you can ask the student questions, and that questions lead them to summarize it and understand the issues and the areas that they need to go and do some further work on it on their own time. Good, so we know what we need to do before the class, during the class, after the class. These some guidelines. I'm sure you with your experience, you have other things you can inject in this one, and you test it and it seems working. I'm just looking at your comments. Very good. I see a question there saying, can we show the slide? And at the moment we do some calculation or writing on a whiteboard. This is a very good question. Well, I will answer these questions hopefully. If I do not answer it later when I show you the live session, please ask me again. But I think I will remember it because it's important questions. Now, how we can engage our student? Your presentation has to be interactive, clear, follow a logical sequence, and it should include some activities and interactions with the student. The other thing, utilize the mobile phone. We will later try Kahoot together, and you see Kahoot is a tool that will engage your student. It will make them feel more excited, and it's good if you are expecting students to come to the class with certain knowledge. So you can put Kahoot at the beginning, you understand if they really understand what you expect them to do, then you can move to the next one, or they still need to do some more work on that one. And it's on the mobile, and students love working with the mobile because it's in their hand and they will be using it even in your class. Provide students with opportunity to show their work. So you're explaining and you want a student to show you what design he created or some of the solutions he came across. You can stop your sharing and say, show me your work, and you show it on the screen, you discuss it with other students, and it creates some interaction. Use some humors and way to connect with your student, appropriate way for sure. Should be there, and get them more relaxed, more engaged, more willing to participate in your course. And always check the student experience and things that they having challenge with in terms of the mode of delivery or areas that they cannot understand. Now, what are the different types of lectures or classes that we can run through Microsoft Teams? There are 4 in my opinion. If you think of another one more or more, just let me know. We can look at them and discuss them in details. The first one is the presentation. It should be very easy, simple. If your presentation is really quality, clear, has sequence there, and it has some components of interactions, engaging, and getting students to reflect, that will be smooth. You run it and you get students to interact with it, and that can be no issue with that one. But the other one is when you have software demonstration. You show them the software, like you're teaching programming, which is something I enjoy doing. When you're teaching programming and you go through explaining the concept and then show them how the concept work, one student may be trying it on his computer, but it didn't work. There's a semicolon missing, or the structure is not right, or something made it completely doesn't work. And how you can solve this problem. If a small group, it's easy. You just get the student to show his computer screen, and then you can advise him, look at this one, look at that one. He can even give you access to go and do some edit on his screen, and then you solve it. But if you have a large group, it becomes a little bit difficult, because many of them will have challenges. The ways maybe you can put them to work in a group so they can solve their problems together, or maybe you focus your lecture on the concept, on giving examples, and then you use the TA to divide the student into smaller groups and have online meeting with them and go through that one. So you need to look at different mechanisms. And from your experience, I'm sure you have different ways to deal with this, even in your class, which you're doing now. Thank you. I get some good feedback. Okay, we'll come back. Oh, thank you. Okay, let's move to the next one. The other one is a discussion. If you have a class that based on discussion, you're discussing certain theory or certain case study, and you want everyone to participate in that discussion. If you have a large group, difficult. Small group, again, it's easy. But if it's a large group, there are a mechanism which I'm recommending here. You create a panel discussion. You select 3 to 4 students and a moderator, student, or maybe yourself at the beginning to teach them how to do moderation, and then you put someone there, and then they discuss, and the rest of the class can feed questions through chat or voice. You control that one, and then you rotate it. You bring another 4 students, say finished 15 minutes, this is your panel discussion, another 15 minutes, another group of students, and this way you can get them all to be involved, and you get them through that discussion. The fourth one. Fourth one. The fourth one is if you're solving a mathematics. This is you're doing calculus, you're doing finance, accounting, some engineering, physics, and others, where you want to draw some formulas and go through a certain procedure and steps to explain it for the student. And there are different ways to do it on Microsoft Teams. One is to have an external camera pointing to the whiteboard, and you do your work as you do on the whiteboard. But for that one to work, you need a wireless microphone that you can use, and we will get you those wireless microphones. I will just show you this wireless microphone. So this one basically 2-part. One will attach to the computer, and the other one you just put it here. This is similar to one used in the conferences, and then you can start explaining. And the good thing with this one, the distance between you and the computer makes no difference. So if you are closer or far from the computer, the quality of the audio will stay the same. So that's one. So you have the whiteboard. The other things, you can use iPad, or if you use your laptop is a touch screen, you can use OneNote. OneNote is very effective. I will show you the OneNote, and this is related to the question. Can we show the presentation and do some calculations? You can split your screen into 2 parts. One is your PowerPoint presentation, and the other part is OneNote. And you start writing on the OneNote, explaining and doing calculation or mathematical procedures, while the presentation as a reference there. You can do this one. I will demonstrate you how to do that later when we go to the live session. Good thing with OneNote, all the writing you can send it to the student, and they will have access to it. You give them a link. Okay, now assume we have 3 credit hours. Most our courses are 3 credit. There are, I think, few and architectures 5 credit, and in few other places. So question is 3 hours. Will you run a presentation for 3 hours or a lecture for 3 hours? I think if you just run it like that, your student will not be engaged and will feel not satisfied. A way to do it, you break it into smaller chunks. Every 30 minutes, you do 30 minutes or 20 minutes, and then you have an activity and exercise, maybe a small break if needed within the room, not leaving the room, and then you go to the next. So it becomes every chunk or group is self-contained. It has its objective, it has its content and some assessment at the end, and then you move to the next one. And this way maybe you can get your student engaged, and that you run 3. The other one which I think also can work is you do like a flipped classroom, blended flipped classroom. Distance learning is a combination of many of it. Basically, you create a video of the lecture, you send it to the student, they watch it. When they come to the class, you maybe use Kahoot to test their knowledge, have they seen it, or maybe you create a discussion or go through examples or case studies related to that one. So this way, students already have done the work outside. The challenge with this one, how you make sure the student have really watched the video through the discussion, and this you'll find out how to do it. And I think if you push the student in that direction, I think it will be great, because they need to start learning on their own, and we need to encourage that one. We'll have a challenge maybe, but it's reasonable. This way you don't have to do the 3 credit hours. You need to maybe split that between the video and the discussion. Now discussion has to be with some video and face and online connection. It cannot be only a discussion on the chat and those things. You need to give them the options to express their understanding, to find out the weaknesses, or discuss some application and things like that. This is more challenging to prepare for the discussion than creating the video or the presentation. So everything has with its own strength, weaknesses, challenges, and opportunities. Now moving to the next one. It's prior time, but we'll run through this one. I'm just reading your comment. Great thing, so many nice comments and great comments. So I'm just filtering this and finding the questions. You are very nice team. Can you recommend a simple and practical way to checking attendance? Okay, that's very good. We'll look at it when we come to the live one. Dr. Rem, university will provide wireless microphone. I had a discussion before in the previous session, and I had some of the senior administration in that meeting. We need to find out how many of faculty will be using that method of teaching, and we will find out how many microphones we'll need. We'll provide the microphones. This is one way. The other way, maybe we'll estimate saying, maybe 50, 20%, 10%, 5%, and we'll go and get those microphones. Some of it already available in the IT department, which is there, and some of it maybe we need to buy. We need first to find out the requirement before going ahead. Now I want you to start downloading Microsoft Teams if you didn't do that yet. So you need to go to https://teams.microsoft.com downloads. When you get there, you will find this window. You click on download and then download it for you. It takes time. It will not finish in a few minutes, but it will do. Most browsers will automatically detect that you're using Windows or Mac or Linux or whatever it is. But if your browser, if you're not using Chrome or Firefox or those modern browsers, then maybe you need to scroll down a little bit and find which distribution needed for your computer. But most likely your computer will find it with no issue. Once you download it, to log in, you need to have your IDU full email, a complete email, not just username at then idu.ac.ae, and then your password, and then you will be connected to Microsoft Teams. Now we'll go through a demo. Leave the download happen in the background. If you sorry, if you're downloading it now. If it's already downloaded, then we will come to using it. Now, here is when you open it, you will get a window like this. Your window will not have all those things. These are teams that I am member of or I am owning, and there are many of them. My screen is full of teams. So that will be a little bit different. You will have one or two there. Here, this is the menu that you need to be familiar with, and my advice every morning or every time you start your computer, get Microsoft Teams to start. Just make it there, because you will do many things with Microsoft Teams. It's not only teaching. So the first one, the activity. If someone created a team, added you a member, or uploaded a file to a team that you are a member of, or did some activities, this one will show numbers here. And you click on it, you will find what are the activities are really happening. The chat is, again, will show you a number there saying how many chat waiting for you that you didn't read, and then you click on it and you do a chat done in one-to-one or a group chat, or all these things will appear here. And here, these are the teams. When you click on it, you'll find all the teams that you are a member of or you are owning. And then comes the assignment. The assignment will appear only if you have created a course, not a normal team. There are 4 types of teams that we can create. One of it is a course. If you create a course, you will get the assignment here. Now, the assignment is similar to the Blackboard assignment, but my recommendation, you continue using Blackboard for content, for assignment, for quizzes, and use Team for discussions and for video call and screen sharing, those activities. Blackboard is a learning management system which equipped to do quizzes, assignment, using tools like Turnitin and Safe Assign and other things. Teams is not for that at the moment, but Microsoft is moving into that direction, and Microsoft will make it even better than any other one, but that will take some time. Now, for assignment, I would not recommend using assignment, but students can start their work here. They create the files, they create discussion, and then when they finish, they link it or upload it to Blackboard. And that can be done. Then the calendar, if you click on calendar, you will find all your Outlook calendars here, because they are integrated. They are one system. Outlook, Office, Word, Excel, they are all linked together. And this is the strength of Microsoft Teams. It's part of the Office 365. Calls, these are the telephone calls that you made or you missed. Someone calling you, you are not at the office, it will do that. Now, you can install Team on your mobile phone, and you will get all the alert and call, and you can join a meeting, and you can do everything needed. Files, these are the old files you uploaded, your team uploaded, and related to your team. So we'll click on Teams first. Now we want to create a team. Now there's a discussion, are we going to create teams centrally, or you're going to create teams, faculty will create teams? Still that around, we're trying to push it more to be done automatic, but if in case you cannot make it automatic, we'll create the teams. But here I'm just showing you the process. Maybe you need to create a team for a different purpose later. So you need to know how to create a team, which is not that complicated. So you click on teams, then you see here join or create a team. Join, if you're giving a code that you can use and join, which I'm going to give you a code later to join my team, then you just simply add it and you join. Or you create a new one. So let's say we are here, click on it. You can see that two things here. One is join a team with a code. So you basically, I'm going to do an Arabic version of this presentation. I already have the Arabic presentation ready. I can see there's a question in Arabic, please. Okay, I can't do it now in Arabic because it's meant for English, but I'm going to do another session for that. فأنا رايح أعمل سيشن ثاني بالعربي مخصص للعربي والبرزنتيشن موجودة اوريدي جاهزة، فإن شاء الله بكرة نشوف الوقت المناسب إن شاء الله بعمل السيشن العربي. Okay, so you can join by the code or you can create a team. If you click on create a team, then it opens for you this window. It has 4 components or 4 options that you can select. One is the class. If you want to use it for teaching, you create a class. If you want to teach it for a group of teachers who are teaching the same course or in a committee working on something related to the curriculum, then you can use this one. This one for the staff and others, which for clubs, for other activities happening in the university, you can create different. Each one of those has small different components. Like for example, here you will get quizzes and assignment. Here you will get a planner, and here you will get planner and plus other things. Small differences. For now, we will focus on class. When you do that, you will get this window asking you for the name. The name should have the course code and the course title. The most important is the course code and the campus or section. Now you're teaching a course like whatever course is that one, but this one is for a specific CRN or a section. So you can add the section code to this one. Now if this created automatic, and I can see there is a progress team working on it, the IT team is doing a great job with this one. So they maybe find a solution to create it automatic and it will be done for you. So you'll have the course code, the section number and the campus that the course running in. This is the one needed. The description is optional, but you can copy it from the course outline or syllabi if you would like to do that. Once you do that, you click on next. Now it will ask you to add student and teachers. Students, you basically add the student ID and it will find his name and all the details, and you add it. Again, this one we were trying to get it done centrally, and IT is really looking at that one. And hopefully it will be done. If it's not done, there are 2 or 3 ways that we can get it done. The first one is teachers will add it, or the second one will use admin and teaching assistant to help adding those students. And the third one, there is a code that you can generate and send to your student, and they log in and enter the code, then will be part of your course. And once they all in the course, you remove that code or disable that code. So those are the 3 options. We will look at it. Important to be ready for all of them. We're pushing for the first one, but if we can't, then we'll go to second and then the third. So you need here to add the student ID. You can also add teachers. You are the main teachers, but you have a teaching assistant or someone else helping you with the course. You can add the other teachers who are helping you with the course here. Now adding users is optional to the team because you can do it later. There is the next step that we can use to add the team. So you can skip that one. Now once you do that, you will get into this window. You'll find your course name here. You will find something called general. The general is something called channel. Channel is basically is a way of communicating with your team members or your student. So the main channel is general, that always created by default. And in that channel, you can have a window where you can chat with your student. You write a message, you upload a file, you do a pictures, you do anything in this one. Now this one, if you write anything and hit enter, it will send the message. But assume you have a long message and you want to format it and make it looks nice before sending it. Then you can use this one. You click here at open for you something like Microsoft Word, and then you edit your document and then you submit it. And that will be. And then here you can attach a file, you can express your feeling, you're uploading an image, or having a video call. This one for the video call. I don't think you will have all this. You will have maybe up to here or here, this group you will have. The additional, I added them myself, so you don't need them basically, but this is where it is. This is the chat here in that channel. So in channel general, this is the chat. Up here we have a menu that attached to the same channel. Later, if you create another channel, we will have a different thing attached to that channel. So each channel has its own thing. So here we have the posts, which again the messages. We'll have the files. You can upload files here, create folders, everything related to this channel. And then other things, which I'm not going to cover now because it's not the time we need to do it. Maybe later we'll talk about class notebook. So this is the channel. And the channel should be made for a different purpose. Yeah, this one is a general, but maybe you can create a channel, call it labs, and then you upload the lab manuals. You create some discussion about the labs and some analytics on those labs and whatever. So that channel, the student want to do the labs, just go to that channel and do the discussion in that channel. I can see some questions coming here. Shall we add manually the ID for the students one by one, or wait until, I think wait tomorrow, we have a meeting and we will look at all the possibilities and options, and I think it will be communicated to you through your deans of the way we're going to do it. But don't rush it. I think you just start getting yourself familiar with Teams, start playing with it, and having some meetings, uploading some files. These practices will help you to do Teams. Give me a second, I need to answer this. Sorry, I am back. So don't rush it. That's good question. Thank you. Can you please show the real video in between the lecture? Yes, you can show the video. Yes, we can do that. Well, I'll show you that one later. Okay, so that's the channel. Okay, so if you see any 3 dots in Teams, that means there are additional information here. And this additional information, if you click on it, you will find a menu. This menu will give you how to manage your team, add a channel, add a member, all those different components that needed. We will do manage a team, and manage a team is important. Click on manage a team, and then we'll get this window. I will try to answer all your questions, but just I'll do it at the right time. I can see some questions about the chat. Okay, we'll do that. Nothing specific. Did you add anything here as well? Okay. Training. How do we, all right, record, we'll come to the record. Okay, so we clicked on manage a team, we got into this window. Now this window has the members. You can see I have it's only me there as the owner and the group owner. There are no members here, 0 members. I can add them from here. Okay, there are also other ways to add them. We will come to that again. I know the adding is little bit faculty worried about it because they prefer it's automated, and I hope that will be automated. Otherwise, we have the other methods we said we can follow. The other one is pending request. If you give a code to the student, they will come into the pending request, or people found your team. If it's somehow public, then they requested you to add them. They will be waiting here for you. So you go there, review them one by one, and then add them. And this can be like a self-registration by student with approval from the faculty to allow them in that team. Channel will add more channels. Settings will look at the settings more, because here you can look at the permission that you'll give to your student, what student can do, what student cannot do, and some other things. The analytics, it just give you some analysis about what's going on in your course. So let's look at the setting. In the setting you get this. Many people like changing the theme. They want specific colors, specific font, whatever, and you have the option here to go and select different themes that you need to use for your course. What's important, I think, is the membership, member permissions, that we need to look at it. And the member permissions, if you open it, you can see your student has only 2 permissions currently. The rest are not enabled for them. And this is the default. I don't think you need to make any changes, but you can review here and decide if you want to do anything. The 2 things they giving, they can delete their own message. If they type a message and send it, then later they find it's not the right one, they can delete it. Now they are allowed. But if you, for example, teaching an English course, you want to see the mistakes they made and things like that, maybe you can disable this one, maybe. The other one is editing their own message. So Muhammad, I did a message, I want to edit it, I can go and edit my own message. These are the 2 things I'm giving to the student. The rest, like adding tabs, removing an application, these are more admin, high-level things. Adding a channel, we just have it only for the faculty. But again, the student can create his or her own team and do whatever they want to do. But that's not your responsibility, it becomes student responsibility. So there are 3 students working on a project, and we said, let's create a team, and they created a team and started using it for whatever they want to do. This is still okay. So the next one I want you to know is the team code. We can generate a team code that you can give to your student and they can register. And if you click on that, you get a window like this one explaining what that means. It means you will get a code, and people can directly join your course using that code. So if you click on generate, it will generate this code. So this is the code. Please now write it down, because I want you to go and join that course later. So please write it down on a piece of paper and get it ready for next time. While you do that, I'm looking at your questions that you have here. Shall we use Menti? We said no, so only our student can access our YouTube link and not outsider. Now the YouTube, we don't need YouTube at all. I'm doing it this way now because I want to show you from the teacher point of view how things is going. I'm doing it for training. You don't need to use YouTube at all. It's not required to create a YouTube video. If you want to create a video and you want it only for your student, then you can use a service we have already called Stream. So you upload it to Stream. Stream is like YouTube, but it is for only our university, the account. So for members of the university. And it's similar to YouTube. We do many things with that one. So you do the YouTube, the video that you want on Stream. Of course, you can upload it to Blackboard, but Blackboard has a limited storage at the end, and it's not meant for streaming video. videos, when you open them in the Blackboard, they get downloaded and then displayed on your browser. But when you run from a streaming server, it comes in small parts and linked together to create a streaming video. So you don't need a YouTube one. Is the microphone of the laptop is enough? Yes, the microphone of the laptop is good enough if you're staying closer to the microphone. But if you are moving away from the laptop, you're explaining on a whiteboard, you need a wireless microphone. But if you're just explaining and you're staying in closer to your laptop, your laptop microphone, most of it will be great. If your laptop is less than 3 years, it will be fine doing that. Okay, so you wrote this code and later we will need it. Now the next one is creating channels. Okay, there are other things in the settings which I did not mention, but you can go through them. The only one I maybe need to say is the mention. If I write a text in the chat and I want a specific person to get alerted by email, then I can mention him. And the way to mention him is and then his name, which is similar to most of the social media things. Channel, if you want to add a channel, you click here, and then, we add a channel. Click on add. Here you need the name of the channel. One of the things I used to do is to create a channel, I call it challenging topics. Students who are finding challenges in any topic, they just write it there, and this will help me create revision for them and do some discussions or reflections or come with examples, whatever I need to do. So for example, I'm creating here one called challenging topics. Just that's what I need, and the description is not needed here. Once I do that, you can see now I have two channels, the general and the challenging topic. The challenging topic has a little bit shorter menu. I can make it bigger by adding some more components as I need. But it has its own chat. If I do any chat, it will stay within this channel. It's like the discussion board and threads and other systems. Good. So, how now we can make a video call? We'll jump to this one. And if you are going to make a video call, sorry for that. I don't know why I keep coughing now. Good. Was 6 hours of maybe more, which I really enjoyed. Now, if we are in the general and start video call, that video call is attached to general. So any discussion or file saved will come here. If I record it, it will stay here. But if I'm in another channel and start another video, it will be for the other channel. So keep in mind the channels has their own component. They are sub-team inside your team. So let's say in the general, and usually general is the best one to start that. You click on the video here. You will get this window. So this window will give you the chance first to see if you are prepared. If the background is okay, there's nothing in the background of your screen and you looks fine. And then if you don't want your video to appear at the first time, you disable it from here so it doesn't appear when you join, and then later you enable the video to make it come, or keep it as it is. It's important to give a title for that meeting. So here I call it, for example, week 1 introduction, maybe. Thank you, Anand, for adding the code, but the L is lowercase. I know because it's the first one, it's capitalized by default. Okay, now we are here, so this is the title. Then we have here schedule a meeting. Schedule a meeting is very useful in our case of teaching. So if you have your class happening every Tuesday from 4 to 5 or 4 to 7 or whatever time, you can schedule it. and it will create a calendar for the student and create calendar for you, and you go just click on that, you are in the meeting. This is very useful to create it, and you create it once. You just do it once and then it will be there for all the time. So once we do that, we click on Meet Now. Now we are in a Meet Now, and I'm doing it this way because if I'm going into a real meeting, which we will do later, you will not be able to see those things which I have on the screen. You will not see it from my point of view. You will see it from your point of view. I want you to see it from my point of view because you are the teachers, and you need to see how the teachers or the faculty will see it. And this is the way I'm doing it this way. So this menu as well is a little bit what I can say. It just disappear. If you go away from the window, it will disappear. And you bring your mouse closer, it will come again. So if you're searching for it, you need to remember that you need to bring your mouse into the video, so it will pop up on the screen. Now it has the video. You can disable video, you can mute your microphone, you can share your desktop. We will look at that. And here there are the magic 3 dots that will give us more information. This is the chat, and this is finding the participants. Who are the people in the meeting? When you click on it, you will get the list of all the people. Now here it's only me in that one, but if I have others, they will come all here. Now if you want to mute everyone, because they're creating noise, a student usually when they come, they will keep talking to each other. How are you, Muhammad? How was your holiday? Where did you go? And then create a noise and you lose control. But you have an icon will appear here called mute all. You click on it, everyone is silent. You are in control. And then student can one by one, when they want to talk, they can unmute themselves. You can unmute them, and that will help this way. Great. So these are the things. So you can invite other members. You have a guest speakers. Want to bring him into the meeting. You can copy this code from here and send it to him. He will be able to join your meeting. I'm sure you should have all the clearance, everything for that guest member to be part of your team. And you can add other members here to the meeting. Okay, so these 3 dots, what they have. If you click on them, you will find we have a menu there, which important menu. First one is the show device settings. Here where you troubleshoot your microphone, your video, and you make sure you are using the right device for your communication. And we will look at that one in a minute. Meeting notes, where you can start writing your notes. Student can start writing their note while they are live with you on the call. So it's good, and it will store it in their files, and it helps the student and help you as well. Enter full screen will make the application full the screen. Blurring is a very nice one, will make the background blurred or shaded so people cannot see what's happening. And here is where you can start recording the meeting. If you click on this, it will start recording, and they will get an alert, your student, that you are recording the meeting. If we look at the device, and we'll get this window. Here you will find 4 components. The first one is your custom, I'm using custom setup for my device. I can see there are few challenges you might come across with your audio. One is your speaker volume is very low. You just reduce the volume, and you don't hear the student and they are talking. And that basically you just increase the volume. Or maybe you're using a different speaker. If your computer connected to a docking station, and docking station has a speaker input, and you are using the docking station, not your computer. Here I'm using my Mac Air speaker, but there may be other speakers if I'm connecting my computer to other devices. And those devices are the one who are active, but they are not working. Then you will have an issue. So you just click here and select which device you need. And you can test it, basically. When you select the right one, click, you will hear some noise coming, and then that's the right one. Same thing for the microphone. You click and select the right microphone, you will start seeing this one moving up and down when you speak. And then the last one is the camera. You can have multiple cameras connected to your computers, and you can switch those cameras from here. So this is the settings. The last one, the player, if I click on blur my background, you'll notice one thing. See, my background became more blurred now. My background is almost empty, there's nothing. But if you have people moving around in the background, they will not appear on the screen. You see a difference there. This is useful if you are not at office, you are somewhere else, and you don't want student in the background to appear into your video. But most time we'll be doing this from office or home. Good. Sharing screen. Now we are connected to a video and people are there. Now how we can share screen? This is the one that use share screen, and here the advice that I said before. I'm going to repeat it again. Sorry, I keep repeating it, but it's important. If you click on share, you get those windows. Look for the one that desktop. Share the desktop. As I said, if you share an application and later you switch on another application while you are live with the student will not see the other application. They will continue seeing the first application. So sharing the desktop is better. So you need to click on this one. So we have desktop, we have Windows, we have applications here, browsers, whiteboard, and freehand things. Maybe you don't have all these things because your computer setting is not there. For sure you will have these 4 things coming here. This too depends on what application are open on your device. So you might have different things. If you run AutoCAD, you will see AutoCAD coming here. The one you need to focus on, I think, the desktop. Okay, so if you click on desktop, now we are using my desktop virtually. Yeah? So I have a presentation, I'm working on it. This is my taskbar or whatever Mac they're calling it. And if I can open any application, you will see it. And this window here is where I can disable my video, I can mute my microphone, I can stop my sharing screen. Now here, this is a little bit critical. I made a mistake many times that I am in a meeting, I share the screen, and instead of clicking on this one, I click this one. This will end the whole meeting. So your student will be disconnected and you are out of the meeting as well. To get student back to the meeting, sometimes it's really challenging. So avoid clicking this one unless you really wanted to end the meeting. If you want to stop sharing, you click this one. You will make these mistakes few times, then you will remember it in the future. Okay, so we stop. Now we're done with our presentation. Sorry if it was long, but let me go to the Teams now. Now this is my Microsoft Teams, as you can see, and if you use the code which we wrote there, LTPSILY, if you have that code, then you need to go here into Teams and then click on Join and then enter that code in this place. If you do this, you will be in the team. Now, how I will know that you are in the team? Yeah, I will show you how I will know. I have so many teams, but here we are. Now, if you joined, please come to the general and write, I have joined. Please say, I have joined, or anything you want to say. So I can see that you are in. Once we do this, maybe we'll stop the live streaming and just work on Microsoft Teams. Let's see how. Thank you, Najla. Saying indeed it's very useful. Thank you. I think this is an opportunity for us. It's a big challenge, yes, but it's an opportunity to us to get into this. And I'm sure with your hard work and experience, it will be a great success for Abu Dhabi University. Very good. You are here. Ilham there, and Najla is there. And okay, share the code again. I will show you the code again. We'll go to the manage, click on setting, click on here. Here's the code: LTPSLIY. Rem, you said, can you repeat this point, please? I can't, I don't know what point you're talking about. Can you just tell me what that point? I said so many things which I can't remember now. Okay, so I can see many of you already there, which is very good. The great thing, we have really good number of us now onto this group, which make me happy. We are 37 here. I know there are many coming more. And the icon Teams comes from setting. Yeah. Okay. So there are 37 of us here. As you can see, if I find someone I want him, I'm the owner, but I can add others become the owner. For example, I'm just looking at this. I can make her the owner, so she will have more. She can do more things, add channels and add groups, add members, and do some more things for the group. Okay, so let's look at what we can do. I'll keep just both streaming and team together for some time. Then I will close the streaming so we can focus on, because we need to do a video call on Teams and see how things work on Teams. But before that, I want to show a few things. So this is here the comments. You can, as I said, you can add any comment. You have started doing some comments. And if you click on this one, you get a better way to format it. So for example, if you're doing a welcome message and you write a welcome there and you start writing a paragraph here, you can use all those different components here, and then you can finish, you send it. But if you just, let me delete it, I don't want it. If you just write here, it will come with just a plain text, which good. Now we can upload files. If you look at files here, I already uploaded there's a folder called teaching material, because this is a course, you can upload it there. And I uploaded the presentation. I made some changes since that time, so I will upload it again later. But it's very easy to upload anything on here. You just drag it and drop it from your desktop, and it will be here. Just looking at if I have anything useful that I can, anything from here, like for example this one, I can just drag it and drop it there. Okay, leave it. I'm not going to do it because that document is still under review. So that's the way you upload your file. Of course, you can create folders and you can do many things with your files. So these are the files. The class is very good for note. Those people want to teach using writing on the screen. That's something we can look at it, but we'll look at it later. And this is the post. Now let's try having a video call. So I'll stop the streaming and then we'll do the video call. Now if you are already in, and I can see not all of you because I have seen 34 live, but there are only 4 of you who said I joined. Does that mean the others having a challenge with joining or they don't want to join? The both options are there. If you don't want to join, again, yeah, the number is 1 to 45, which good. So if I'm going now to start the video call, I'm sure the others will join and we'll see how things will go. I'm not sure if I do the video call while I'm streaming, that's a good idea or bad idea. I think it's a bad idea. So I'm stopping the streaming.